Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make a little wine bottom. This was designed by Wendy Doe. This is slightly different to others you may have seen, mainly because there is a square in the center, so it will take quite different wine shaft lengths. If you have a wine glass that has quite a wide bottom, then you can adjust this rectangle in the center. You can also use all your scrap fabrics, or you can use the one I'm going to show you today is going to have different colors on it so you can see. And it's quite easy to take off. Put the glass out of the way. It's quite easy to take off and it's firm as well. And oops, there's no seams anywhere either, and you can just chuck them in the wash afterwards. They're really good because they not only protect the bottom of your glass, but if you happen to spill some wine, it's going to fall on this rather than on a table and things like that. So you are going to need a couple of tools for this. You're going to need your crimping scissors, some clips or pins if you prefer pins, and let's move those out of the way. You are going to need, I've cut templates, but it's up to you if you want to cut your own templates. But the first thing is two 4.5-inch squares. So 2 pieces of fabric that are 4.5 inches by 4.5 inches. You are also going to need, and again you can do this in any fabric you like, you are going to need 4 rectangles, and your rectangles, again I've done a template, is 4.5 inches by 4 inches, and you're going to need 4 of those. So if I put them like that, you can see, now I've only rough cut these, but 4.5 by 4.5, and then a 4.5 by 4. 2 of these and 4 of these. The first thing you're going to do, take your squares and put them, wait a minute, let me remember, no, put them wrong sides together, like that. Next, take your rectangles and fold each rectangle in half so that your 4.5 is on the edge. So we're going to need to fold all of those. Now you can press these with an iron, but you're folding the shorter ends so that the longer ends are touching. Again, they don't have to be perfect, but as accurate as you can with them. So let me move this down, and then I've also got these. So I'm just going to finger press these, but you can use an iron for them. So you've folded the rectangles in half with the 4.5-inch edges touching each other. You've then got your 2 squares and they are wrong sides together. Next thing we're going to do, take one of your rectangles and place it so that all of your raw edges are along this side. Then take another piece and put it that way, so your folded edge is in towards the center. Next one, that way, nice and easy. And then for your final one, you're going to tuck it under so that it's like a lattice almost. So I'm just going to lift that up, put that there. So that's what you've created so far. I'm going to use clips, but you can use pins. Just make sure that they're all the sides are clipped up. Next, take your wine glass, pop it in the center. So this size will work for anyone, hopefully any size wine glass. So put that into the center, and then with a pen, I'm going to use a fabric pen, though it doesn't actually matter that much. Draw around your wine glass. Like that. Now there's then two ways to do this. You can just go to your machine and do a line of stitches, but you need it at least 1/4 of an inch away. Or what you can do is cut 1/4 of an inch away and then sew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew as is, but I'm going to make sure that it's 1/4 of an inch away when I do the sewing. I'm on a hand crank, by the way, I'm not on an electric machine. One of these days I'll learn how to speed up my videos, or at least edit them, so I know what I'm doing. I'm just back stitching so that's locked in place. So hopefully you can see that on the camera. So there's my original wine glass shape, and then I've stitched 1/4 of an inch round. You can now take your clips off or pins off and just get rid of those threads. And then take your not crimp, what are they called? Pinkies. Take your pinking shears and just cut round as close to your stitching as you're comfortable with without cutting the stitching. The little pinking shears, just because we're gonna fold this, so it just acts as clipping the seams. You could just cut little notches in or clip into the seam if you like. I just find this easier. It does make a mess though. And then simply fold it the other way, which is then going to trap all those seams in place. Push out all the edges. Now, we can. I'm going to just roll with my fingers just so I can really get that seam. But you could just, if you go over to your ironing board, you can give this a good press as well. And there we go. Now made a little wine bottle. So let's hope it fits. So it might take a bit of a wiggle to get in. I found that with the other one I made. But once it's in, it's not going to come off. Give it a little wiggle. And there we go. Now you have your own wine bottom. Isn't it so cool?